This is Part 2 Episode 152. Luo Feng flashed and knelt beside the E9 laser, picking up the seemingly simple automaton piece of work. He touched its peculiar sculpture. This was very similar to his silver-white pyramid ship. However, he could feel that this laser gun's material was somewhat better. It may seem like just a gun, but it felt even more terrifying than the large cannons of Earth. The barrel of the gun was only 1 m in diameter. In the vast universe, a few universe ships' main cannons, their barrels were at least 100s to thousands of meters. This 1 m in diameter barrel, in the universe, it was indeed considered only a gun. Luo Feng, this is an E9 XTH 122 series laser gun that only the automatons can build. It's reputable for its small size and short preparation time. Barbata communicated mentally. You should know that technological weapons, even though humanity is proficient with it, the most it can create is a weapon capable of killing a Sector Lord level 9. As for creating one to kill an Undying, humanity cannot do it. Luo Feng nodded. Indeed, from Sector Lord to Undying, that was an evolution in essence. Humanity could at most create an E-pinnacle grade alloys, and F grades are metals already produced in the universe. Creating weapons are the same too. After reaching E-pinnacle, there hasn't been a way to break through to create stronger weapons. The automatons were different. Automatons were the origin for the technology of the universe, and all of its people were living AIS. They could even create weapons capable killing of Undyings. They could create F-grade comparable alloys. And these alloys had better qualities than the same grade pure metals. Just like when Luo Feng was in the Yunmo ship back then, seeing the automaton Undying's corpse, that corpse was a simple alloy body. Even that alloy was comparable to F-grade metals, and for an alloy body to reach such level of flexibility and sturdiness etc., perfection, it was indeed an unbelievable thing. This was something only the automaton race could do. No other race could do it. A weapon capable of killing an Undying, only the automaton can build one. Barbata continued, of course, those levels of weapons are extremely pricey. The automaton Undyings, even only a few of them can own such terrifying weapons. Luo Feng nodded. His own automaton ship was equipped with an E3 grade laser cannon and a Star Annihilator. Even though the power of the Star Annihilator was huge, its preparation time was too long, and definitely not suitable for close combat. As it was so huge, it was not suitable for a person to carry it either. Same power, the smaller it is, the more expensive. The shorter the preparation time, the more expensive. This E9 grade laser, it's so small and its storage time is so short, it can be said to be the bane of Sector Lords. Barbata said, even amongst the automaton race, this is rare. Your teacher back then never got such an item. How expensive would it be? Luo Feng asked. It's priced at about 5,000 mixed elements. Barbata said, to Undyings, it's not considered too expensive, the problem is that it's considered a rare item. Even with money it's hard to buy, unless one is willing to pay few times the original price. So expensive. Luo Feng stared. 5,000 mixed elements was more expensive than even an automaton ship. Right, this laser gun can be considered a family heirloom. Barbata said. Imagine having one of these in the family. If a Sector Lord enemy ever flew into your territory, the moment the galaxy security system picks up on the Sector Lord, you only need 0.1 seconds to prepare, and the moment he gets close, kill him in one shot. The Sector Lord wouldn't even be able to react. Luo Feng nodded. Right. The Star Annihilator was powerful, however it required 60 seconds to store the energy before firing. With the Sector Lord Pinnacle's speed, 1 second alone was enough for him to fly tens of thousands of kilometers to reach the territory's headquarters. Hence the Star Annihilator can only be considered a massacre weapon during an attack. And the E9 laser gun, whether it was carried about, or as a treasure for the race, country, it was heavenly. From today onwards. Luo Feng rubbed the gun in his hand, feeling the coldness from the weapon. I've got another trump card. The Mosha clansman's instantaneous speed is shocking. With it wielding the E9 grade laser and its shocking speed, surviving 0.1 seconds is too easy. Once that passes, I can kill the enemy in one shot. Luo Feng kept the gun in his space ring, after which he checked the frozen body. Even though the ice around had melted and boiled around, because of the high temperatures, this was after all Demon Mountain. Very quickly the cold from around had reached all about, in 10 seconds, the boiling waters once again froze over and became ice. The vapor around too formed an ice layer. His one step broke through the ice, and he took the space belt from Pa Tuo's body. I wonder what he has on him. Luo Feng used his spirit energy to invade it and scan. With Luo Feng's perspective, normal treasures didn't entice him at all. This Pa Tuo's entire family fortune was far from even one mixed element. There are over 3,000 black tags here. Luo Feng was happy with the surprise of so many black tags. The many tags floated before Luo Feng, black and huge. Every one of them represented at least a universe level's life. Over 3,000 lives. Demon Mountain indeed stands for a new lease on life. Luo Feng shook his head. I hope my tag never becomes another person's spoils. With a wave he kept all the tags, including this unexpected reward. He had collected a total of 4,320 black tags. Luo Feng swiftly flew to the distant automaton ship and carefully checked it. The dent caused by the laser shot earlier was already almost gone, and looked like it was new again. Looks like it'll be perfect again in a while. The memory regeneration of this alloy is not bad. Luo Feng complimented within. Barbata, keep it in your storage space. Understood. The automaton ship that had fallen, and had its surface frozen over immediately vanished. Within the caves, Luo Feng seemed like an ant carrying a blade and swiftly making his way forward. Even a lion hunting a rabbit has to give its all. If I meet a troublesome opponent, I'll immediately switch to the Mosha clansman to settle it. Luo Feng walked and reflected on the battle before. The reason he was in such danger before was because he didn't initially treat the domain level 9 as an opponent, resulting in such danger. As he walked, he frowned. Barbata. Luo Feng shouted within. That fighter that wanted to kill me, he shouted, it's you. And he even took out an E9 grade laser gun that even Undyings rarely own. Firstly, that fighter was only an aboriginal from 9-Star Ocean. In theory, he couldn't have acquired that gun. Barbata said, to acquire that gun, it probably was an Undying. And one with a huge background. And he only said it's you when he saw the cloud contact vine, along with the sector lord that was after you before. From everything, I can deduce, some huge figure is trying to kill you. This person gave the laser gun to the Domain Lord level 9 and told him about your specialties, having a Domain Lord level 9 cloud contact vine. And the Sector Lord after you before, guarding that cave, he should be the same. From this I can deduce. This person that wants to kill you, probably arranged for more than one person to kill you. There are Sector Lords and Domain Lords with laser guns. Barbata explained. Luo Feng squinted. Who wants to kill him? He didn't feel like he offended anyone. Powerful figures that want to kill you probably have some upper-level grudge. Barbata explained, my guess is that there are 3 kinds. First is a sect battle, second is a personal grudge, and the third is a race battle. As the virtual universe companies every knight owns his own sect, you would eventually belong to the 9-Blade Knights sect. If the sect battles get intense, and someone views you as a potential threat, he would try to take the chance to get rid of you. However, these sort of genius assassinations are very despicable. The sect feuds must be pretty big. The second reason is personal grudge. You are True Yang Emperor's disciple. Anybody who has a grudge with True Yang may implicate you. Similarly, those who dare do such a thing must have huge grudges, otherwise they wouldn't take such risks. The final reason is race battles. The human race has intense battles with other races. A few warriors may have invaded other races to assassinate the geniuses of others, this is common. Luo Feng nodded. 3 possibilities. Luo Feng, as you get stronger and your position rises, unbeknownst to you, you might offend others, or others may want to kill you over nothing. These numbers will keep rising. Barbata said, hence you have to be more careful. Luo Feng nodded. He couldn't die. The moment he died, the weak foundation of the humans of Earth would immediately change. The shockingly rich Ping Hai Corporation would quickly gain the attention of others too, and their outcome would be unpredictable. After all, even though it was within the virtual universe company, the company was too huge, it had too many firms and corporations within. This was a power even bigger than a universe country. Luo Feng was even more cautious as he proceeded. Anybody he met who was a Domain Lord level 7, and up he quickly settled with the Mosha clansman, and anyone below, he used his earth body to swiftly settle. Even though he was careful, killing others was hard to avoid. Very quickly, his black tag count reached 4831. On the 75th day of arriving in Demon Mountain, Luo Feng, who was carrying the blood shadow blade, walked along the cold pathways. Suddenly he squinted, staring in the distance. About over 90 kilometers ahead, there were 2 universe-level youths lifting a handmade exquisite bench. In it lay a skinny goat-like old man, who would occasionally snort, and besides him were another 5 youths who were following him. It's him. Luo Feng squinted, that old fart. The skinny old goat man squinted his eyes, lying on the bench and occasionally snorting. Ever since Kamulu's death, our days have gotten better. Among the 2 universe-level youths lifting the bench, the one in front, who looked resolute with drooping eyes, muttered within. This elder Jinyang, I've long heard of his bad reputation. I didn't expect to actually land in his hands here. I have to bear with it, just a while more. He seems to be extremely upset by Kamulu's death. Hopefully I can make it through. Elder Jinyang, a reputable sector lord within 9-Star Ocean. His reputation was mostly due to his preference for men. The disciples in the sect were all his boy toys. And Kamulu was his biggest disciple and most favorite. He had sent Kamulu out earlier to kill Luo Feng, but was actually killed instead. This made him extremely upset. Kamulu, my Kamulu. Elder Jinyang sighed within. Teacher. Teacher, there's someone ahead. A voice shouted from beside. Elder Jinyang opened his eyes quickly. With a glance, he swiftly saw the silhouette over 90 kilometers away clearly, that short-haired youth with black horns, wearing a silver armor. It's him. Elder Jinyang's eyes gleamed, the memory from before flashed through his mind. Back then he had casually sent his great disciple Kamulu to capture Luo Feng, but who'd have expected his favorite disciple would never return again. Hatred boiled within his chest, and his expression immediately grew struggled. Little thief. He roared fiercely, return my disciple's life. Rumble. That beautiful well-carved bench immediately exploded, causing the 2 universe-level youths to dodge in fear. Elder Jinyang became a beam of golden light, and flashed towards the distance, chasing after the hated thief Luo Feng. I actually met this old fart again. Luo Feng saw the distant silhouette. Without hesitation, he immediately swapped to the Mosha body. As the elder roared and flew over, Luo Feng fled as well. However, he deliberately slowed his speed. Thief. The elder gritted his teeth, and his voice resounded beside Luo Feng's ears. The surge of world energy pressed down on Luo Feng. Now that I've actually found you, ha, you'll die. Go and be buried beside my disciple Kamulu. The elder roared as he swiftly got closer to Luo Feng. While fleeing, Luo Feng pretended to be trying his best to flee, his eyes seemingly filled with fear. However, within he was absolutely calm. Luo Feng, that sector lord level 7 is 18.2 kilometer away from you. Barbata's voice resounded. That's about enough. Luo Feng calculated. In his hand the silver-white gun appeared. It was about 3 meters long. He brandished it and immediately pressed the button. Immediately the light at the back turned a bright red. That's... The elder's world energy was spread out. He immediately discovered the gun within the fleeing thief's hands. Elder Jinyang was after all a sector lord. The upper echelons of 9-Star Ocean all normally had universe ships, or some Aries etc., to connect to the virtual universe. Through the virtual universe, the elder naturally knew of the value of laser guns. However, he had no way to determine what grade it was. This little punk is giving off a universe level 9 energy. However, his fleeing speed is comparable to a domain lord level 9, and he killed my domain lord disciple Kamulu. And now he's taken out what seems like a very high-level laser gun. He's definitely not from 9-Star Ocean. The elder swiftly deduced, and the virtual universe company frequently sends out a few high-position and status people to enter here, and these are all universe level 9s. This punk here may very likely be from the virtual universe company. Elder Jinyang was shocked within. Against a sector lord, he actually dares to take out a laser gun. He definitely thinks he can kill me with it, or at least threaten me. He was getting nervous within. A sector lord level 7, his conscious calculation speed, just how fast was that? Many thoughts flashed in his mind in an instant. Flee. He didn't dare gamble, he turned and became a beam of gold light, swiftly fleeing. Trying to flee. Mosha Luo Feng turned at this point and chased. In the winding caves, Luo Feng's speed instantly rose greatly by tens of times. Compared to the domain level 9 speed before, he reached a speed that exceeded most Sector Lords' instantaneous acceleration. Maybe most Sector Lords, after accelerating to their limit, would be faster than the Moshe clansmen. However, the instantaneous acceleration was much lower. How did he get so fast suddenly? The Elder's world energy sensed Luo Feng swiftly catching up. Immediately his expression changed greatly. He was purposely baiting me earlier. At this, the Elder understood that he fell into a trap. The opponent could easily use that movement to escape, yet he had pretended to be slow. Without a doubt, this was a trap. I can't run, what do I do? The Elder was panicking. He immediately used his world energy to press the E9 laser gun in Luo Feng's hand, however he couldn't activate it. Idiot, would the automaton race weapon have such an obvious loophole, to allow the enemy to use his world energy to control their weapon? Luo Feng laughed coldly within. While single-handedly carrying the laser gun, higher-level energy weapons all normally had their own AI systems. Even the normal ships of humanity had these, much less a E9 grade laser gun. After taking out the gun, one first had to set one's authority. Only after which can it be used. Luo Feng acquired the gun after killing that domain Lord Partuor. He specially got Barbata to study it and invade its AI, completely changing its authority to himself. Lord. You must be a big figure from the Virtual Universe Company. Spare my life, I have offended you. A sharp voice resounded in Luo Feng's ears. The warning light on the E9 laser gun turned green, the storage was complete. Old fart, go and die. Luo Feng's movement was demonic. With just 2 flashes, he closed their distance to about 800 meters, he gently pressed the button. The laser gun automatically locked on its target. A glaring white light shot from the barrel. While it shot out, it had already reached the Sector Lord Level 7 Elder Jinyang. No. The Elder stared wide-eyed, the corners of his eyes split, filled with fear, madness and hate. He tried his best to dodge, pouring his world energy into his genetic armor to protect himself, even using the world energy to form a projection around as a shield. Rumble. Under the glaring and burning white light, the genetic armor dispersed all of the attack throughout the Elder's body, causing his entire body to instantly crumble. Simultaneously, the armor too burned through, from his neck to his feet, everything was reduced to nothing. Finally, the force of the beam caused both his head and feet to burn from the high temperatures, with nothing left behind at all. The white light continued its path towards the distant wall. Immediately the walls shook, countless ice melted and later began to boil, forming white mist. The space around shook. When the Sector Lord died, large amounts of items appeared and landed about. These were all items stored within his internal world that crumbled after his death. So poor. Luo Feng glanced, black tags. The black tags were in the distance, and many of them scattered throughout. Collect. Luo Feng collected all the black tags and valuable treasures. As for the messy remains that were lying about, for a core member like Luo Feng, with the Virtual Universe Company supplying with him so much more, naturally he couldn't be bothered. Killing a Sector Lord really gives so many more tags. Once I include the batch before, I've already exceeded 7,000 black tags. Luo Feng couldn't help but reveal a look of shock. I never intended to collect the 10k black tags, however, now I've already got over 7,000. The stronger one was, the more tags he would acquire. Partuor, who owned the laser gun, before had killed a Sector Lord and others, hence he had many tags. This Elder Jinyang was strong, hence he had many tags too. Maybe I'll really be able to acquire over 10k black tags. Luo Feng smiled, instantly becoming a beam of light and vanishing. As his days in Demon Note Mountain got longer, Luo Feng gradually realized the danger. One day while he was sitting cross-legged, with his consciousness in the virtual universe studying the 3rd volume of Time-Space Scribbles, as he was immersed, he didn't move for 6 consecutive days in the cave. Then he realized, after not moving for 6 days, he actually was attacked by 3 terrifying demon notes. These 3 were capable of hypnotizing Sector Lords, especially one, which was enough for even a Sector Lord level 7 or 8. Luckily my consciousness is strong, and I picked Demon Note Mountain. If I had picked Ice Mountain, I would have long not been able to withstand anymore. He was shocked within. If it was someone else and not him here, that person would long have become a zombie. On the 109th day in Demon Note Mountain. Rumble. A distant rumble resounded from the distance. Luo Feng, who sat cross-legged, had become an ice statue, he opened his eyes and the ice layer broke apart. He stood up and turned to look in the distance. There's someone. Following the explosion from far, very quickly, a 300-meter-tall gorilla beast was chasing a Universe Level 9 youth. That youth was clad in gold armor, his movement was demonic. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Primal Region Universe Level member Mo Luo. The Virtual Universe Company's Primal Region Universe Level member, there were 3 originally, once the new geniuses Bolan and Long Yun were included, that made 5 of them. And Mo Luo was one of the 3 seniors within. Because of the upcoming qualification battles, the Universe Level Primal Region members and their specific information had been collected by Luo Feng. In terms of strength, the 3 seniors of the Primal Region were much stronger than the Mother Flame race, Sajin Fire Dragon, he had defeated before. At least now, within the qualification battles, he had no confidence of defeating any one of them. In reality, however, it was not definite. Amongst the 3 seniors, Luo Feng actually had the most respect for Mo Luo. Mo Luo came from the distant South Fox Universe country. Originally an orphan of a barren planet that was the remains of war, alone without a name or identity, later the Mo family owned over 1,000 life planets in territory and found a barracks to nurture its own death army. However, during the process, Mo Luo displayed unbelievable talent, hence he was quickly absorbed by the family and given the family name Mo. Since then, his name became Mo Luo. After receiving the family's full nurturing, his improvement grew even more absurd. Very quickly, even the elder of the family, a Universe Level 9 warrior, had nothing left to teach him. Not long after, Mo Luo was discovered by members of the Virtual Universe Company stationed within his region, and was immediately absorbed in as a special elite by the Virtual Universe Company. The absorbed elites of the Virtual Universe Company had to compete amongst themselves too. Very quickly, he was absorbed as an internal core member. During that same year, he passed the Sky Mountain and entered the Sky and Land region. After 2 qualification battles, he made his way into the Primal region, becoming one of the high and mighty Primal region members. Luo Feng and the others were accepted as core members through the genius battles. Mo Luo, however, was one that gradually rose through the ranks after being absorbed as elites. Hence he had respect for this Mo Luo. The first reason was because of his hardship and history. The second reason was because of his battle techniques, his self-created beast fist. Fighters mostly use blades, swords, guns, axes, rods etc., all sorts of weapons. Mo Luo, however, relied on his body, his fists and feet. According to teacher Truyang Emperor, most begin by learning techniques used by the earlier generations. As one's law comprehension rises, one will discover parts of the techniques that don't suit himself, hence he would create one. This process was incredibly important. Luo Feng was very clear on this, because almost 99.99% of undyings would create their own techniques suited for themselves. These techniques, creating them as early as possible wasn't necessarily the best way. When one's law comprehension is weak, it's not wise to create techniques, as the weaker the comprehension, the easier the techniques would stray from the true path. This Mo Luo, however, with his beast fist, even Truyang had complimented it. Luo Feng had seen footage of him using the beast fist. He was filled with respect. Within the icy cold cave, the youth dressed in golden armor jumped from side to side exchanging lightning-fast punches with the huge gorilla beast. The cave shook with ice layers splitting apart, as the gorilla beast roared and punched madly, waving his huge palms about. The golden armored youth was incredibly nimble, as fast as lightning, dodging time and again. However, in terms of speed, it was obvious that the gorilla was much faster. Very quickly, he reached the youth in a big step. Big punk. The golden armored youth looked up. Howl. The gorilla slapped violently. The golden armored youth actually stood his ground. As the palm was about to hit, only then did he dodge at the last moment. This made the gorilla immediately stop its wave and flipped his hand for another attack. In that instant, the youth swiftly flew upwards. Fly. The youth grabbed onto the 10-meter-long finger of the gorilla and violently flung him. Rumble. The 300-meter-tall gorilla was thrown off the ground, heavily smashing into the ice ground. Rumble. Such a huge thing, almost like a little mountain smashing into the ice layers, breaking through many layers of ice, causing the surface to split apart. And as the entire beast was flung from one finger, naturally the joint of that finger was broken. The golden armored youth once again used his strength to sever that finger off. Howl. The gorilla roared with rage, climbing back up and waving his palm. The not too distant Luo Feng was shocked as he watched the scene. While moving, his entire body is like water, wrapping about the finger. The moment he unleashes his strength, however, he actually uses the gorilla's strength against him and throws the entire beast. And like adding oil to the flames, breaking off the finger after. How wonderful and unbelievable at the same time. It looked simple. However, against a mountain-like palm, Luo Feng questioned himself whether he would dare invite the palm in to grab that one finger. He didn't have such ability. Mo Luo, Universe Level 9, Gold Armor. This was a Domain Lord Level 9 Metal Assisting Life Form. Barbata said, that beast has an energy level of Sector Lord Level 2. From his combat skills, his body moves as one, he can probably already unleash 100 times his normal force. The Undying Altar was a test of one's exertion, 100 was the limit. However, it's useless. The most terrifying thing about the beasts are that it won't die even from heavy injuries. Barbata said. Luo Feng nodded. Even if the beast was cut into pieces, it would still slowly regenerate. During the battle between Mo Luo and the gorilla, the beast was getting injured constantly, however it still maintained the upper hand. I'll help him out. Luo Feng smiled. So troublesome. Mo Luo stood on the gorilla's head and muttered, no matter how heavy the injury, it's still useless. The gorilla's palm waved past and Mo Luo flashed, running around its huge body. Suddenly, a silver-white pyramid appeared in the distance. A gleaming white light glowed at the top of the pyramid. Laser cannon. Mo Luo stared, so shocked he immediately did 3 flashes and dodged far away. A light beam with a diameter of 200 meters flashed past the gorilla beast. Its huge body immediately lost half of it, leaving behind only its head and legs. The rest were completely melted. Half of the light beam too was lost after melting the entire beast. The remaining half landed on the wall behind, melting a portion of it. Automaton ship, E3 laser cannon. Whether it was the 9 E3 laser cannon, or the 3-star annihilators on the ship, they all had huge barrels. Like the E3 laser cannons, the light beams it shot out could be controlled from 30 meter to 3,000 meter. Automaton ship. Mo Luo looked on in shock. The ship swiftly vanished and a black-horned youth walked over. Only his facial features had returned to its original appearance. Mo Luo. Luo Feng shouted. Luo Feng. Mo Luo looked in shock at Luo Feng. You've also come to Demon Note Mountain. You are here, why can't I come? Luo Feng smiled. Mo Luo was very shocked. Since the qualification battles were upcoming, he had done his homework too on who would become his opponent. Naturally, he had taken notice of Luo Feng. Because Luo Feng was simply too intrepid. Plus, even though he hadn't been in the virtual universe company for too long, and he had already defeated Sad Jin Fire Dragon. This level of improvement definitely had pressure on the others. Howl, the gorilla's head on the ground actually still let out a low roar. Mo Luo looked at the head and his expression changed, shouting, Luo Feng, let's move quickly. Quick! Mo Luo swiftly fled. Luo Feng was suspicious, but he too became a beam of light and swiftly followed. Mo Luo was ahead and Luo Feng followed. The two of them continuously flew through 3 caves before stopping. Luo Feng. Mo Luo landed on the ice and smiled at Luo Feng. I've long heard of your reputation. However, I've never met you before. I didn't expect to be able to meet you here in Demon Note Mountain. Luo Feng nodded, after which he frowned. Right, Mo Luo, why were you rushing to flee earlier? He shook his head helplessly. It's like this. Earlier, not far from where I encountered the beast, there was a beast nest. For the past 2 days, I've been chased by the beasts and have been trying to escape. However, relying on myself, I couldn't even settle the beast earlier. Universe ship. The straight flight speed of the ships are fast, however through the winding caves, having to slow and speed up constantly. It cannot even compare to me relying on my metal life form. Luo Feng nodded. The universe ship's acceleration were generally slow and required time before reaching light speed. Of course his automaton ship was much better with quick acceleration, but it still paled in comparison to the Mosha clansman's instantaneous acceleration. And my ship doesn't have that kind of firepower like yours. Mo Luo shook his head, hence, I've been in a deadlock. Beast nest. Luo Feng nodded. He had encountered once too. The beast nest was indeed terrifying. Anyway, I don't dare enter such a place again. He shook his head and looked curiously at Luo Feng. Luo Feng, how long have you been here? Have you met any dangers? Not even 4 months. He replied, "Not as long as you." Before he even entered, there were already 2 core members here. Obviously now he can confirm one of them was Mo Luo. "Looks like you wish to stay all 3 years too." Mo Luo's eyes gleamed, exclaiming, "This demon note mountain is seriously dangerous, especially the demon notes. Luckily I found a pattern. Otherwise I'd long become a zombie." "Pattern?" Luo Feng looked at him. "To survive this long, you haven't discovered the pattern?" Mo Luo asked. Luo Feng was stunned. Other than the terrifying swallowing strength of that one cave, the other demon notes were no threat to him, hence he never noticed a pattern. The first point, don't stay in a spot for too long. As time passes, the strongest demon note attacks will get even stronger. Mo Luo smiled, "This much you should know already, even the aboriginals know this." This video will end here.